Wow. I have to wait for this to go live. Is it not going to go live for me? Hang on a second. There it is. Okay. Let me pop out the chat. De Saudre du. Whatever you're trying to tell me. I really think advertisers don't think. They just think everybody in Quebec is French. Okay. Uh-oh, where's the chat? Show chat. There. Hop out chat. Come on. Make it big. Bring it just a little bit closer. Come just a little bit closer. Hey, how's it going? Let me just try and see if I can enlarge my screen to the point where I can actually see the chat. Even though it's on a laptop, it's really small. I'm going to zoom. Okay, now I'm going to go. Okay, hang on now. Come on back here. Come on back here. Where is, there it is. Oh, come on. Pop out chat. Ho, 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 F11 this puppy. Oh, I just made my screen 200 times the size. Oh, shoot. Well, I'm seeing it up there too, but give me a second. Hey, Lori, how's it going? I really can't maneuver much without, okay, there we go. So, I'm really embarrassed. I'm just starting to get my work done. Because I forgot that even though my face had been frozen and I was under such pain relief, I forgot that my body went through some trauma on Tuesday. And I was really up yesterday because I was so pain-free. And I woke up this morning and yeah, I'm pain-free, but I'm exhausted all of a sudden. Let me try and move this a little bit closer here. Let's bring this just a little. Whoops. No, I can't get it any closer. So, my mouth is still tender. It's not my mouth so much as the bone is tender. And, no way! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sweet Linda Bob. Happy birthday to you. So I'm really kind of whacked out today. I'm just like, I feel like a bag of jelly. I am working on 50,000 pounds of carrots. Now, these are deer carrots. Look at these, guys. They're small, not like last year's, but look how beautiful they are. They put them into these seconds or juicing carrots or deer carrots, whatever you call it, because they're broken or somebody had too small a wiener. You know what I mean? Like, somebody was a peg leg. But for the most part, they're just imperfects, right? They are. And I asked Howie, how much does that bag weigh? And he said, about 35 pounds. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't trust Howie's measurement because, I always thought, never mind. We're not going to talk about his idea of measurement. Anyway, so I thought, I'm going to weigh that bag. And there's no way I could carry that bag into the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, got my scales, my digital scales, and I tapped it and I rested the bag on it, just keeping it upright by the plastic thing. 49.6 pounds. So yeah. Now, here's where the Hey, let me say hi. Now that I can see what I'm doing here. Hey, Annie 518, Seashell Aloha, darling. Corey C, Diana Sonnenberg, Jeannie Mermal, Waldo, Karen Ludwig, Kathy Ponder, Linda Bopp, Linda Willardson, Lori Lazor, McChesney, Lynn Smith, Midwest Katie, Minnesota Farmer's Wife, Julie, Rebecca Black, Sandra Jones, Sherry Cook, and Trish Young. Oh, I just love having this chat just boom like that. I can actually read it from here. So now what I'm also embarrassed about, I have a bucket here with lemon water in it for the tops and the ends and the peels. You know why? I've washed them, but you know why, because they're going into be broth. So, and I have a bowl here because a lot of these aren't even going to need cutting. I'm not chopping, or I'm not dehydrating any today. Ooh. And over on my dining room table is a new product from London Sunshine. And no, it's not the induction top cooker. It's an ice maker. And we all know I live in the country, and my Igloo ice maker does really well. But I'm really excited to try out this new one because so far all of London Sunshine products I love. See, because this is about the size they go in the jar. Sells them along with deer apples and sugar. Yeah, here too. We don't. We get. Did I turn off? Hang on a second, guys. If I buffer for a second. There we go. So the other thing I'm embarrassed about is I thought, okay, I've got 15 pounds of potatoes left. They can wait. Carrots are going to go out of season right quick as soon as hunting season's done. And that one can go into 2 pieces. And I want to do 150 pounds of carrots this year. And okay, I'm thinking, oh wait, how many jars do I have? And some of my potatoes I'm going to can in small cubes for like hash browns and stuff, right? But so I thought about it for a second and I went, wait a minute, how many lids do I have left? So I run over to look at you can see it right there, that box of lids. I might have 20 lids left. And I can't believe I didn't check my pantry to see if I had another sleeve. And I don't. So, but I do have a sleeve and a half of largemouth lids. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of largemouth jars. So I'm ordering my regular mouth lids tomorrow because it's payday. And I'm going to have to suck it up and go to Canadian Tire and buy 4 cases of largemouth jars. That's going to cost me about $85. Because I have the lids for them. I just don't have the jars for them. I do have some. They're in the dishwasher right now. And I just cleaned my dishwasher. And so when I clean my dishwasher, I like to put a load of jars through. They still get rinsed. They still get like an inspection and a rinse. But they don't necessarily need a scrub or anything, right? Just an inspection and a rinse. Where do you buy your deer apples from? Same place I get my carrots. And that's another thing. I thought yesterday was Thursday. So here I'm saying, I'm going shopping with Briar tomorrow. I worked it out with Briar, all that stuff. And then I had to phone Briar and say, I can't take you shopping tomorrow because I got high, because I got my days mixed up. Between Thanksgiving and Howie being sick one day, giving us a 3-day week last week, and getting my face frozen and going to the dentist and stuff, I somehow jumped ahead in the week. I have to phone the dentist. I have to phone the dentist. What time is it? Damn. Okay, I'll have to phone them Monday. Unless they're open tomorrow. Because I want to get Howie in there. When we got COVID the first time, his face, all in his tongue, his gums, his throat, and the roof of his mouth, and the inside his cheeks all broke out in like canker sores. But these were really big canker sores. They were putting holes in the tissue. And when he healed from it, it kept kind of coming back. And then one day, we had a 4-day weekend, and he was off work for 4 days. And then he went back to work on the Tuesday, and then he phoned me and said, Bev, I think it's the city water that's keeping this going. And I said, what do you mean? He said, I just had a glass of water and my mouth started to burn and I got an immediate canker. And I went, oh, okay, so you're going to be taking well water to work with you, right? So, but since then, one of his teeth, excuse me, that might be him. That would be awesome if it was him. Hang on. Oh my God. Hello? Oh, thank God you phoned. I don't know why. I don't know. I've got you mixed up with the dentist, which I forgot to call. How's things going, baby? No, I didn't call the dentist, and I'm in a live stream, so I can't. But I'll do it on Monday. They may even be open tomorrow, dear. Because they have emergency services and stuff. I was just telling everybody how after COVID, your tooth and bone is all, the bone above your tooth is all exposed. Oh, that's right. See, I'm thinking tomorrow's Saturday. I'm all over the friggin' place. Do you know what I realized? I realized that between having a 3-day week after Thanksgiving and then me facing the dentist and having my face froze and all that stuff, I've got my days totally mixed up. I told Briar yesterday I was taking him shopping today. And then I had to phone him back, say, oh, I'm sorry, son, Mommy got stoned. And I didn't realize what day it was. He said, no worries. So are you going to Canadian Tire before you go? Okay. Okay, milk. Yes, that's it. Excellent. Okay, baby. I love you. Okay, bye-bye. See? He's going, Bev, tomorrow's only Friday, right? Hey, Michelle Jones. Leona, my canning is over for the season. Slipped on some spilt turkey broth on Monday. Oh, my God. Oh, fractured your clavicle. Really bad. Surgery on Saturday. 7-8 weeks recovery. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry to hear that. And it's so easy to do at this time of year. You know why? Because we're exhausted from canning. We really are. So, Howie, I need to phone the dentist for Howie for tomorrow. Like, phone tomorrow and see, because I'm going in 2 weeks, and he needs his mouth looked after. So, but the last time he went to the dentist, they made such a botch of extracting, he's getting a tooth extracted. But it was broken. So that makes it more complicated, right? And then, to make matters worse, they had to dig it out of his jaw. And for 6 weeks, folks, 6 weeks, My poor husband, I called him a wimp because it's like, Howie, you get your tooth extracted, you're up and about in 2 days, like, and he's like, no, there's something wrong. And I went, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, about a week later, it was just starting to heal over. And then he went, oh, here it goes again. I said, what? And then a sliver of bone came up out of the thing. He was, every time it would heal, he would get another sliver of tooth or bone protruding and coming out of his, it was agony for him for 6 weeks. Hey, Manette. Yeah, so he has not a fear, but he's like, right? I ended up phoning that dentist office and calling them butchers. I said, my husband, the tooth you extracted, he's getting bone shards and tooth shards coming up. Every time it heals, it comes up and opens it all up again. Oh, that's normal. I said, no, it's not. I've had 5 teeth extracted. It's a bit of a pain in the ass for about 2 days. So, hey, Bronwyn P. How's it going? You know what, though, Leona? Like I said to Sherry Leach when she broke her arm last week. Please, please, please do everything you need to do to heal properly, whether it requires rest and physiotherapy after the fact. Our bones have to last us the rest of our lives. And you don't want to put yourself hurt yourself by worrying about canning season. It's over. Done. Boom. Okay? It has been a crazy year. It's called a bone spicule. Can happen in oral surgery. I'm a dental hygienist. 6 weeks, though? 6 weeks? So anyway, I told him about my experience, and he said, okay, well, make me an appointment too. Right? So I have to phone tomorrow and ask if he can come in on the same day as me. Or maybe I will just reschedule so we can go in together. Hey, Catsy! Hey, of course, no thanks necessary, Leona. We all gotta get through stuff, right? We all have stuff to get through at this time of year. Is anybody starting to feel Halloween-y? Why did the vampire never give children to his wife? You all know this because I just said the word. Because he had a Halloween-y! So I've been kind of in a fog all day. Well, I was hyper yesterday, but I was also in a fog. So I'm going shopping tomorrow. I have enough jars and lids to maybe do 2 canner loads of carrots tonight. And then I'm going shopping tomorrow. Like, look at that. Poor thing. Were you rejected? Because you were little? I'm taking Briar shopping, and I'm going to have to bite the bullet because onions are on sale. Get this, for $4.88 for a 10-pound bag. Remember last year? I got them at $2.49 on sale. That's almost doubled in price. Almost doubled in price since last year. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and get myself a couple, 3 bags of that. I'm starting to think my grocery money is not going to cover shit, but it will because my paycheck's coming too. Finally, 9 weeks after ankle surgery, I could put my shoe on today. Yay! I celebrated by going to the dog park with the man about the place and Barney, our newfie. Oh, I hope you weren't holding the leash, or is Barney a really good dog on the leash? I can't do large dogs anymore because, like, Gracie's our last large dog. Because I'm the one who trains them, right? Oh, I know what's up. Price of groceries is out of control. And I have to get a couple of flats of mushrooms, right? Butter's on sale. $4.88 a pound. $4.88. Well, I'm going to grab some of them. I'm really not, I'm only going for, like, Howie will be picking up milk. He does the dairy products because they're cheaper in Ontario, where he works in Ottawa, than it is in Quebec. So I get him to stop for milk and cream and eggs in Ontario. But I've got to get cereal. I should be making a list. I'll watch the video after and make a list. I have to get cereal for Howie. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and go to Canadian Tire and buy some largemouth jars. And the last time I looked, they were like $21.99 or something. Or were they $18.99? They were like $20 for 9 jars. So we will see. Hey, Becky! Dixie Muir! Hi! Lindsay Clark! How's it going? Kathy Ponder, Trisha Young, Rhonda. So, yeah. I'm going to be canning, hopefully, all weekend. Because deer season is here. Well, at least I think bow season, and now bow season is right now, or is it now muzzleloader? I think it's muzzleloader right now. And then after muzzleloader, it's bow, and then muzzleloader, and then rifle. So by the time we get out there with the rifles, they're really jittery. But I've seen a lot of deer. Like I saw 2 does in the field across the road coming home from the dentist. I'm 72 years old. I feel blessed to walk normal after that ordeal. I spent 3 months in a nursing home in rehab. Oh my God. Yes, I blanch my potatoes before dehydrating. I dehydrated cubes, and I'll tell you something. Have you ever stepped? Okay, I cut them in 1/2-inch squares so that they dehydrate, and they're, you know, they dehydrate okay, and they rehydrate well in soups and stews. You ever stepped on a dehydrated cube potato? It's like stepping on Lego. I had a flashback. Holy lifting. So I'm hopefully, like I said, the potatoes can wait, but I want to do 150 pounds of carrots. I don't have the jars for that. So can anybody tell me how long it takes their 4 jars to show up when you order them? See, I'm so used to them giving them to me for free, but I haven't been earning, I guess, enough to warrant sending me jar lids, because yes, I'm busy and I'm always talking about 4 jars, but you know, canning season's almost over and people aren't, you know, buying them, except me, because I didn't check. Excuse me. So, oh, it's a dubby. What? What did I miss? Well, yeah. I mean, after being in a nursing home for rehab, that's got to be scary. You know, at our age, that's scary. It's like, maybe they won't come back and take me out. You know what I mean? I work really hard at, remembering that I don't have the balance I did when I was younger. I don't have the dexterity and small motor control in my hands that I had when I was younger. All of these things, change with age. And we have this reflexive way of behaving that we reflexively try to stop ourselves from falling, all of these things, but they don't work anymore. You know, our reflexes are shit, right? You got your 4 jars in less than 2 weeks? Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll can what I can. I'll can what I can with the canner. And with the lids I have, I'll buy some more largemouth jars, and then I'll do some dehydrating of carrots. I am now an affiliate with London Sunshine because I'm not really fond of the charcoal barbecue because it's small, but Howie's going to be doing a meal on that and showing you how we could probably do a whole meal on that little 13-inch barbecue. 2 pork chops, a couple of carrots, a couple of potatoes. I'm pretty sure we can manage that, right? And I just got an ice maker, and then there's going to be the Black Friday, the big Black Friday event of the induction cooktop, and you can buy the kind that you can fit right into your counter or portable, and I'll be getting the portable, of course. Yeah, I'm making, well, I mean, it's not hard to spend $100 on those, on the lids, right? I'm going to be ordering 2 sleeves. That's 200 lids, and that should do me with the largemouth jars I'm buying. God, please let there still be largemouth jars at Canadian Tire, because one thing's worse than paying inflated prices for something is not being able to get it at all. 2 to 3 days in Texas. Okay, well, I'm in Canada, so it may take a little bit longer because I think the plant is, I don't know if we have a plant here in Canada, right? But I'll use my discount. I have an affiliate discount. Or is that with something else? I think that's with, I'll use my 10% discount, right? I get a 10% discount and I get paid 10% of the sale, so why not order from myself, right? I know. The only fail, I've had 2 fails with 4 jars and they were both my error, right? So, oh my goodness! Look at his nose! Oh God, she thinks I'm talking to a baby now. So yeah, I gotta get canned mushrooms, powdered milk. I gotta write this down. Canned mushrooms, powdered milk, more baking powder, some chicken. I think I got enough chicken in the freezer actually. And cereal and mint. Well, I'm not getting milk, but I'm just basically going looking for sales. So I'm going to get 30 pounds of onions at least, like I did last year. And that's going to, well, if I get 40 pounds of onions, it's going to cost me 19 and change. So, oh well, I bought a bushel of peppers and that cost me 30 bucks, right? But the beautiful part is once all these carrots are done and I finish canning the potatoes, I've got, this weekend I'm going out and I'm picking my celery, what's left of my celery. If you have a celery bed, folks, do what I did this year. Don't pull them. Just cut them off this far from the top. Because they're grown back. Now, they're not huge. They're little wee thin ones. But they're like this tall. And I got to get at them before the frost does. And I'll just pull them all up. Cut the roots off. Right? And there's my celery for my broth. Plus the carrot peels. Plus the onion tops and bottoms that I'm going to be taking off. So I'm, yeah, tomorrow's Friday. So we'll see. We'll see how much I can get done. Howie's going to a second job tonight. That's what he was phoning about. He's going to do some work on a race car for somebody. The owner of the track or the guy who runs the track. And that's going to help pay for our slip where we park our coach. And our banquet tickets, our racing banquet tickets. At least that'll pay for our rate. Because I bought them last year. I think it was like $135 for the 2 of us. And we couldn't go because we got COVID from the baby shower. I'm going all out and growing as much as possible next summer and buying what I can grow, planning on canning 2,000 to 5,000 jars of stuff. Well, this is the first time in my life or in 3 years that I've actually went, I don't think I have enough quart jars. That's another thing. I don't think I have enough quart jars, right, to do all these carrots I want to do. The rate I'm going, Howie's going to have to install new shelves. But frost warning in our area, so we just harvested everything in our garden today. Howie said we may be getting above freezing temperatures for another week or two. He has to go harvest the greenhouse. And we like it, you know, to get a little bite of a really cold, frosty morning. Even though it's in the greenhouse, it doesn't get hit with the frost. But the cold changes the color of the buds, the flowers, you know, and it makes them stickier and sweeter. Because they really do well if you get a... But we may not get it, and they're monsters right now. So I have an 80-pound bag sitting in my garage that I'll be doing a lot with. 80-pound bag of what, Lori? I missed that. Hey, Lindsay. That mug is the size of your head. It's a 30-ouncer. And where I got this, I got really upset because I have one like this that says I'm a connected heart. I've got one that says Mrs. Wolfie's Christmas mug. And I had another with hearts with all my dogs' names in them, right? And now you can't design your own mug there anymore. You can buy a 30-ouncer, but you got to use their patterns, right? Oh, onions, yeah. I mean, carrots, onions, and celery and potatoes would be my four vegetables. If I could only have 4 vegetables to work with, it would be carrots, onions, potatoes, and celery. And then for fruit, what I would have tomatoes and apples. Tomatoes and apples and apricots. And for berries, I would have blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. So, hey, Samantha, how are you? Me too. They're a perfect staple on your shelf. That's right. But I mean, those are our staples. Like, I don't eat a lot of potatoes. Well, I do now. I eat a lot of potatoes because that air fryer, that London Sunshine air fryer is you know, holy crap. I haven't even used my new wave. It's broken anyway. I got to get some muffler tape and clean the shield again and then muffler tape it together because I love my new wave too. I tried to use your promo code the other day for 4 jars. It wouldn't let me. Half acre, all one word. Really? You might want to try that again because and let me know. Email me at connectedheartsfamily@gmail.com. If that doesn't work, I will email Mike and find out why. Like maybe I've just been kicked to the curb. I don't know. I mean, it's the only jar lids I'll use, and I promote them whenever I can. So it's just that, you know, people are being more careful with their money, and I can't blame them. But I'll tell you something. I ain't buying anything else. I will buy the jars to go with the lids I got. I got a full, probably 150 of the largemouth. So I will buy the jars before I'll trust my stuff to any other jar lid company. And that's the truth. Hey, Joe Mama. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing carrots. I'm not chopping today. I'm just I'm making my canning carrots. Did you just get here, Joe? Hey, Lori Palmieri. Hi, darling. That's right. So, I mean, I'm going to can up. I'm going to get some more jars. And I'm going to can up what I can with the jars and the lids I have. Because I'm going to actually do my broth in pints this year, too. All my broth is going in pints this year, except for like chicken and turkey, because I got to do that too. See, you wonder why I'm running out of lids and jars, right? Hey, good morning from New Zealand. Oh, you just finished up your cat's latest gift. Was it a fur ball, a hair ball, chicken noodle soup? Well, I'm still kind of eating. Oh, I had a pancake this morning. And a half a sausage. because I haven't had meat in 3 days. And sauce, maybe I'll have that tonight. Because Howie's not going to be home until like after 8. So I told him, I gave him my last $50 because tomorrow's payday, and said, get yourself some supper, right? Because you're going to be going out and working until like 7 o'clock tonight. He's going straight from work to another job. So God love my husband. So he is moving down the basement. He's sleeping down there right now. Oh, I put something wrong with my armpit. Wait a minute. How long would I pressure can what? Hang on a second, Lori. What are we talking about? Pressure canning onions. I've never done it. I'll tell you one thing once. I thought it would be smart to pressure can a clove of garlic with my carrot chunks. It was the worst. Blech. They all got dumped. It was just a horrible thing to do. It just was like they went bad or something. But the lid's held and everything, but you open the jar and it's like, you're not eating those, right? So I don't know. I've never actually, I've pressure canned onions with raw potatoes, and I didn't like that turnout, right? And I pressure can onions with soup. I used to, carrots, celery, onions, and chicken stock. But I've never pressure canned just onions. My partner cans pickled onions, but never just plain. Well, pickled onions are different because they're pickled, right? I don't know. I freeze my onions. I like having the convenience of opening a bag in my fridge freezer here and grabbing out a hand of peppers and a hand of onions and, you know what I mean, to throw in stuff. Oh, maybe I'll have garden medley vegetables. No, it might be still a bit too acidic for my mouth right now. But I'm working on canning a 5-gallon bucket of apple juice and a pot of marinara. Good job. It's nice to know we can sit and hang out together while we do stuff, eh? Or even if you're not doing something, right? It's nice just to hang out. What did someone call it the other day? The buddy system? The buddy system. Hi, Carol. Oh, that's okay, sweetheart. I'm running a bit behind and ahead, and I still, think that today is Friday. And it can't be, because I'd be shopping. Right? So, we'll see. Hey, Chanel 23, Donna Stafford, Alex Wilson. Have you ever tried Vistaprint? Yeah, I have, and I didn't like the prices. I've gotten, invitations and cards and stuff through Vistaprint, but I've never really done much else. I forget what the website is where I get my mugs, but I like it, right? I've been thinking it was Friday all day. Well, last week was a short week for us, a really short week. It was only a 3-day week. And then having my face frozen and my face traumatized, because even though it's frozen, your body, just because you can't feel it, doesn't mean your body doesn't feel the effects of having teeth yanked out of your head. I never did hear how many carrots you got and how much it cost. Right now, Howie picked me up a 50-pound bag because I weighed it on the digital bathroom scale, and it was 49.6. So, and they were $8. So I'm going to be canning up 2 bags and dehydrating another bag. And then I have 2 cans of tomatoes in the pantry that when I opened them, I didn't like them. It's not that they just weren't acidic enough. They weren't tinny or anything. They just tasted like somebody had put sugar in them. And yet there was no sugar on the label, right? So I have, when Howie cleaned out the garden and I made that green tomato bread, I have probably a flat of tomatoes in the freezer. And I've got lots of zucchini in the freezer. And so I'm going to, when I bring that celery in, I'm going to cut some of the celery that I can chop and use that and make another whack of garden medley vegetables, because I'm getting onions too. I'm just not going to put leeks in these ones. I want to save my leeks for cooking all winter, right? So I'm going to have probably another 12 jars, or at least 7 jars of garden medley vegetables, right? Only it's going to be onions, celery, and zucchini and tomatoes. And I'll just throw that those 2 cans of tomatoes in with it while I'm doing it. You know, can it up to save it kind of thing. Never found deer carrots? Look for juicing carrots. Some people call them juicing carrots, factory or seconds, or discards. You know, you really gotta, you know, everywhere has their own names for them. It is a pain in the ass peeling these little suckers, though. And not have to tell you, really, that's not right, because artificial sweeteners, I've heard, are one of the fast tracks to Alzheimer's and dementia. Artificial sweeteners, MSG, certain medications like over-the-counter sleep aids, too much use of Benadryl, things like that can hasten dementia, or can hasten Alzheimer's. I'm not sure which one it is. That's what I heard. And so, my goodness, he's gotta go pee! He's gotta go pee! Pony or horse carrots, there you go. Hi, Debbie. I live near the carrot capital of our country, and they called them field carrots. I don't buy them because my dad usually has a huge abundance of leftover carrots. Oh, well, that's good to know, right? And aluminum, thank you, aluminum, right? So I encourage everybody to get cream of tartar and baking soda and make your own baking powder. You don't even have to make baking powder. Just where it calls for a teaspoon of baking powder, you add a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar and a half a teaspoon of baking soda. That's pretty much. Like, you can add like potato starch or cornstarch with it to actually, because I think it's a half a cup of, because a lot of, you got to look at the lists on ingredients every morning. They now, you look on ingredients, and if you see BE on it, that means their new way, they're trying to, change, they're trying to hoodwink us by putting BE, because we're so busy looking for GMO. They've changed it now to BE. Biologically engineered. And it's in everything. So if you are buying baking powder, look at the ingredients. A lot of times it has aluminum in it. I don't wear deodorant. Maybe once a year I will put on some antiperspirant. Maybe. If we're going out somewhere. But usually we go out in the wintertime because we're too busy in the summer. We go out in the wintertime. And who needs deodorant, right? When you just have a shower, right? When aluminum is heated, it releases a toxic that gets in our food and the air we breathe. But I buy stainless steel everything. Most cookie sheets are aluminum. I even make my own. Good for you, Jennifer. So I just don't use it. But things like deodorant, and baking powder, things that they like to stretch in powders, will have aluminum, might have aluminum in it. So please, folks, read your directions really carefully. If you're a diabetic, try managing your life of sugar without artificial sweeteners. Because I am a firm believer, do your own research, but I'm a firm believer that artificial sweeteners fool your body into thinking it's getting no consequence sugar, no calorie consequence sugar. And if you go to have a double as a treat, or a cupcake or a donut, your body goes, it's can spike your blood sugar much higher than it normally would if you hadn't been using artificial sweeteners. So Howie and I do not use artificial sweeteners. Yes, Howie's a diabetic, but when I bake, I tell you what the recipe is, but I use less in mine, right? He brought home butter tarts from the store one day, and I'm like, and high fructose corn syrup, folks, high fructose corn syrup is like 10 times worse than sugar. And everything that is not cane sugar is genetically modified. Okay? So unless it says cane sugar or organic cane sugar, you're getting genetically modified sugar from genetically modified sugar beets. I actually have a package of organic sugar beets seeds that I got years ago, and I'm thinking I might try and grow some, because these were organic, and then the following year I went to get some more just to have them, and they said they could no longer guarantee that any sugar beet seeds in North America were organic at all because of cross-contamination, right? Rock crystal stick for a deodorant. I'll have to look that up. Well, I know. And here's another thing. I watched this guy on talking about laundry soap. He was a detergent expert, right, in the field. And he said, here's things you shouldn't do. Never use fabric softener. He said it does nothing but coat the clothes, and it builds up. And I've been telling people this for years because it only makes sense to me, right? It coats the clothes, and like your towels and stuff, they may feel soft, but they get to the point where they don't absorb as well as they used to. I stopped using fabric softener years ago, right? And what happens is the first few washes, you'll get static, clang, and all this stuff, right? But eventually, all your laundry goes through the washing machine without fabric softener, and it starts coming out normal. Not soft and fluffy, but normal, dry. Smelling clean without all these. I don't understand all these scents people put in stuff, right? And then there's the scents, of course, right? So I don't use, now you can use wool dryer balls and stuff like that, but I don't even do that. I just, if I have something I really want to get a rinse aid, I use vinegar in the rinse cycle. And I use my homemade laundry soap. I only put in 1 cup of washing soda, half a cup of borax, and 1 bar of my homemade soap. And I just use, and this is another thing that detergent man said. Use pre-soak and extra rinse. He said, and don't put anything in the dryer that has a stain on it. You'll never get it out again after that. Hence, half my clothes. Rain Country has a great video explaining why you never use bar soap to make laundry detergent, and just mix rock salt and baking soda or washing soda. I forgot, that's it. Rock salt. You buy rock salt, doesn't that stuff have bits of gravel in it and shit? Somebody send me that to my messenger, her link to my messenger. I'd like to see that. Because, I mean, I've got I just cleaned my dishwasher, and I've got jars in the dishwasher. I just cleaned it, and I just cleaned the filters and scrubbed out the inside. And the filters were getting gunked up with the red ball in the power tab. And I'm thinking, why is that? Right? So I scrubbed it all out. And when I put the jars in, I have a load of large in the bottom and a load of small in the top, or pints in the top. And all I did was put in a tiny squirt of Dawn and vinegar. Otherwise, you put too much in and suds leak out all over your floor. A tiny bit of Dawn and vinegar. I threw in a cup of vinegar and a half a cup of my homemade laundry soap. I'll let you know how it turns out. And I can't seem to get my rinse aid dispenser to work. Rock form, pink Himalayan salt, rock form, not fine ground. Okay. Pink Himalayan salt's, you know, quite good for you, eh? I mean, everything in moderation. But I watched a woman who was a professor say that, you know, why are you taking calcium and magnesium? Your bones are made up of more than just calcium and magnesium. And if you're not getting the stuff that absorbs properly, all you're doing is putting, you know, like barnacles, calcium barnacles on your joints and stuff. And that causes like bone spurs and shit, right? She said, if you want your minerals, she said, pink Himalayan salt. Now, I knew that pink Himalayan salt had a whole bunch of stuff in it, okay? Because I remember my brother watching me once when I salted stuff, and he said, why are you using pink Himalayan salt? And I said, because I like it. And he said, well, where are you getting the iodine? I said, Mike, look at the color of it. I said, there's like, I think some 8 vitamins and minerals or up to, there's a whole bunch of minerals and trace minerals in pink Himalayan salt. And everything that your bones are made of is in pink Himalayan salt. So, yeah, me too. I use coarse pickling salt or kosher salt for canning, only because it's just what I use. It's just the way I am. I'm stuck in my ways, I guess. But I have used pink Himalayan salt for canning. I have. Hey, Linda. I'm glad you're... What are you doing for your birthday? What are you and Matt doing for your birthday? Where are you going, Minette? Is Minette leaving? Love you. Take care. This is the problem with these little wee carrots, is it takes so much to peel the bloody things. It's like peeling the baby carrots from the store. Like, honestly. All that work for a little itty bitty carrot. I like it when they come, the great big carrots. But, you know what? I'm just grateful I got them. So, I wish I had a dishwasher. The washer for everything except the laundry. Thank God I have a laundry washer. Well, you know what, Mary? I went for years without a dishwasher. And I've wrecked more than one dishwasher. My dishwasher, nobody uses but me. The only thing Howie can do is unload my dishwasher. Nobody loads my dishwasher but me. I have gone through spray arms and all kinds of stuff because particles of food get in the dishwasher. And people go, oh, it's just a little bit of this or a little bit of that. But no, it gets caught in the spray arms and you can't take them apart. You got to buy new ones. Or you can take them apart, but then you got to rubber band them back together. It's a pain in the butt. It's embarrassing. I have a 100-year-old rental house, so the hot water doesn't work outside in it. I carry 1 bucket of hot water per load for it. Oh, okay. Well, my washer and dryer is in my bathroom. Oh, and you know what? Remember how I was complaining that my whirlpool, because the agitator is flat on the bottom, that things come out like a big donut with sheets and blankets over them like this, like a mushroom? I watched a video where someone said, here's how you put comforters in the high efficiency washer. So I watched. And she took the comforter and she folded it lengthwise and she folded it lengthwise again. And then she made an accordion of it. She folded it, folded it, folded it, and folded it, like you would a fan or an accordion. And then she put it in the side. And I went, and I tried it with the sheets. It works. It works. So now I wish that they would invent a dryer that would go 5 minutes in one direction and 5 minutes in the other direction so that my sheets don't come out in a big ball and have to be taken apart and re-dried because they're damp. He already took me out to eat my favorite place, Red Lobster. I'm not a fan of lobster, and I have a very full tummy. Brought my cake and half of my meal home for later on. Oh, I'm glad. We got to start thinking about oh, right. So I want to tell you about my office. I told you how he's moving downstairs just to sleep, guys. He's getting his own room because I would wake up the deaf. He calls me Keith Moon because when I get out of bed and I groan when I roll over. I'm not aware of it, right? And he snores and he likes memory foam and I need firm. So we've decided that he's going to use, because he's slept out in the coach all summer, it was really hard for him to come back in and share a room again. So he's going to sleep downstairs and I'm going to keep my bedroom. And I'm getting his bed and dresser and clothes ready to go downstairs. Now, I know it sounds silly, but now that we've decided on it, I've got plans. Had his first cataract surgery this morning. Oh my God. Yeah, Howie has to go to the eye doctor too. So I'm going to see if I can get him an appointment on November 3rd. And a dental appointment on November 3rd so that he only has to take 1 day off for both appointments. Because he's got a bit of fogginess in one eye. And I said, that sounds like cataracts, Howie. Right? So, sleep is important. Me and my late husband had separate bedrooms for sleep. Exactly. Note that we both have double beds. And I'm pretty sure, well, I know for a fact, if I ask Howie to come give me a snuggle before he goes to bed, he will. He'll come and snuggle with me for a little bit. And we'll relax and we'll just be, you know. And so once his dresser and bed go downstairs and his bedside table, I'm moving my work table. Remember my rug loom that it's been down the basement? I've never been able to finish it. My sewing table, my sewing machine, my fabric dressers, my fabric bins, everything's going into that side of the bedroom. And my office, well, it's becoming the studio it's supposed to be. Right? You wait. I have my ideas on how I'm building a whole new starlight wall, a whole new night sky wall, adding more clouds, and I'm actually going to buy 2 navy blue king-size sheets. I was going to do 1, but my room is so long and narrow that when I sit in front of the camera, you see these walls. You only see a portion of the back wall. Right? You see the back wall, but you also see the white walls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my lights up and they're going to go and they're going to come this way on the wall. And then I'm going to overlap my 2 king-size navy blue sheets and I'm going to put them so that when you're in my camera view, when I'm live streaming or Freaky Friday or reading a story in the office, you're going to see nothing but a blue sky, a night sky behind me. And then I'm going to finish the clouds across and pass the light that you see up above. And then I'm going to bring them down onto the wall a little bit for better visibility. My grandma and grandpa did not sleep together. Plus, Bruce sleeps in his chair because of his hips. He can't lay flat in a bed anymore, so I sleep in a king bed by myself. There you go. Installing an acorn chair. Now, I don't want an acorn stair lift. I want an elevator. And they now come. You can get them, and they're like a tube, like this big. Like Howie said, I wonder how much them elevators cost, right? And it could go in the back corner of the bedroom, and it would go down to the back corner or the one corner of the living room downstairs. Wouldn't that be something? Well, I mean, the way I look at it is, you know, everybody comments on my clouds, but this is another thing too. I'm getting tired. You guys, my patrons, right? And people from the reading channel and all that stuff, you guys deserve a nice backdrop when I'm live streaming, period, full stop, right? If I'm going to be recording books by live streaming them and then editing them down to the book without the discussion, then you see this little square of blue and a bit of cloud, but you see dressers and boom boxes and tables and craft stuff, right? No. If I'm going to sleep in my room alone, then I'm going to use the other half of the room, because that room has 2 double beds in it with a nice big bedside table in between, right? And I have room on my side of the bed. So if I'm going to have that room all to myself, by God, I'm going to use it. That half of the room is going to be my craft room. $3,000 in the UK for the lifts. For the chair lifts, they're $5,000 here, 5 or 6,000. And I don't want to sit in a chair and wait 10 minutes to go down the basement stairs, right? They do now have smaller home elevators, but we'll see, right? We'll see. I know Arthur's bio dad had an elevator in their last house, and because it went all the way from the basement to the main floor to the second floor. It was a big house, right? And I thought, what a great idea, especially if your laundry's in the basement. You know what I mean? You could take your garbage down with the elevator, all your laundry down with the elevator, all that stuff. Took him out to eat right afterwards, and he was reading the menu for me. He was excited. What are we talking about? I missed that. What did I miss? He'll have the other in a couple of weeks. What are we talking about? Oh, it's cataracts. Right. Well, Howie needs to have his looked at. He really does. He really does. Now, is anybody here from Life with the Wolfie? Well, this is Life. No, this is our half-acre homestead. Please raise your hand if you are here from Life with the Wolfies. Because I'm not going to do the live stream tonight. I'm going to do it tomorrow night before Freaky Friday. Just because Howie's not coming home and until like 8 o'clock, and it's 5 now. I want to at least get 2 canner loads done. And these piddly ass little carrots are driving me nuts. So is that okay with you guys? You're from everywhere. Of course you are, darling. You're always with me. You're all always with me. Okay. Oh, really? Well, I'll have to look into that, because our roof, we need a new roof. And we were going to do it this year, and then we're going to do it next year. And I said to Howie, you know what? Go up and tar it. you know, patch wherever you think might be leaking. Because there's nothing leaking yet. But I said, you go tar and, you know, around any curling stuff. And I said, and we'll put the roof off until we rework our mortgage. Because right now we are locked in at 2.9% financing. And I've talked to some people whose mortgages have gone up $400 a month because of these rate hikes. Okay, Trish. Okay, Debbie Altman, but you don't watch, you're not with Life with the Wolfies? Okay. So, oh, a decent sized carrot. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so I would like to get as much of this done as I can tonight. And then, because I'm going shopping tomorrow, right? So I want to get my, you know, my dishes are pretty much done. But I want to get 2 canner loads of carrots done before I go anywhere. Because once I come home tomorrow, I'm going to have onions. I've still got potatoes to do. I want to do broth. Oh my. Ah! He's going right into the broth bag. I ain't even going to try to peel that. That cross leg and a smaller third leg. Really? Did you take a picture of it? I just learned there's low income help with necessary home renovations and repairs. Is that Canada or the, oh, you're in the UK, right, Empress? Or no, where are you, Jennifer? I may get, really? But we're not low income. That's the problem. We're not low income. Now, I found out that if I quit and went on disability, you know me, I'll never quit. If I was on disability, I could get my dentures paid for through RAMQ. But I'm not on disability, and nor am I going to go on disability unless I absolutely have to, right? This is embarrassing. I haven't even got a half a dish pan here. I'm going to go and fill my basket. No. Ow! I'm stuck to the wooden chair! Ow! I have to tip the bag over and move the strainer so that it's right at the edge. Tip the bag over and dump some because I can't pick it up. I was going to pick it up and put it on the island. It's a 50-pound bag. It's like, oh no. Howie's like, oh, it's about 35 pounds. I said, yeah, and you thought 6 inches was 8. Just saying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's an old joke about men and measurements. Ow, my knees. Okay. All right. There we go. Big one. I got a couple of big ones. I'll be. I'm not going to bother washing them because A, they're really clean, and B, they're going into. The only thing I don't like about doing carrots and potatoes is you can't get the crap out of your fingers for days. Your promo code did work. It worked. Okay. All right, because, you know, don't send me to the boss with complaints. Thank you. When I I'm going to be doing the ice maker one day this weekend. I'm going to do a review because I have an igloo, and I've had that since we visited John in Ohio. I don't know how many years back. The one time Nan went with us, and I want to. I'm gonna run a comparison because of my water I have to run vinegar through it every once in a while. So it's a big carrot, but it's got a split. There we go. Freaky Friday is worth every penny. Fun and community and party in the house. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Trust me. Trust me. It's going to be on the other channel this week, though, because they've been, it's almost like they've been waiting to pounce on me on my Cooking with Cannabis channel. Yeah, I miss John, too. I got to phone him soon. Yeah, I'm bringing onions home, too. Onions... And I need 30, 40 pounds of onions, 2 more 50-pound bags of carrots, and 1 more trip to Costco for things like instant mashed potatoes. But tomorrow I'm shopping. I'm getting flats of mushrooms and butter and baking powder and stuff like that. I know. It's going to start. I see my fingertips. I look like I've been eating Cheetos. He is awesome. He's still awesome. I love Freaky Friday, though. So, I'm probably going to do the ice maker this week. And keep your eyes peeled, because I'm going to be doing that induction cooker video. And yes, there's going to be coupon codes. Right? Although... I'm starting to think they should have given they should have given me the ice maker in the summer. But you know what? I use my ice maker in the winter, especially if I'm doing things like if I want to leave this bucket of carrots overnight, then I'll put ice in it, right? I'll be getting my Christmas club meat soon. Stock up the freezer again. Oh yeah, see, I'm not panic mode, but I'm in mode where I've got to get shit done, because I'm sorry for my language. I got to get stuff done. I had to cut them like that. It must have hurt. Because I still have tomatoes in the freezer. I have a turkey in the freezer and a chicken in the freezer. So those all got to be canned. And then the tomatoes taken out and canned. So the freezer could be cleaned, because we got a side of beef and a butchered pig coming. Right? Oh, I gotta make 1 more payment on that. So, hey Shalita, how are you? Joey, I didn't know you were here. I can't always see. Chat goes by pretty quick. Take care, sweetie. See you at Freaky Friday, I think. I don't have a ready list in my head, just the regular folks that come to Freaky Friday. And I think I want to make a carrot cake, or maybe carrot loaves. You know, like zucchini bread, but carrot bread instead of carrot cake. Because I love carrot cake. Hey, Christina, how are you? Come on, tease me with a big carrot and then give me a bunch of little ones. Rubber Band Man. How is Bev preserving her onions? Bev will be preserving her onions by cutting the ends off and saving them for broth, peeling them and chopping them, and then flash freezing them. This is another reason I've got to get all this done because I don't know when the meat's coming. And then I'm going to lay them on cookie sheets and flash freeze them. And then I'm going to put them in bags and toss them in the freezer. My little freezer in the pantry is full. I've got to get out some zucchini for that last batch of garden medley vegetables. And the bag of leek tops for the broth, so that I have room, because I can barely close it right now. So that would make a good Christmas present. Mini carrot loaf cakes with powdered sugar glaze. Ooh, one you could glaze it just before, right? Like after taking it out of the freezer? I don't know. But I still have green tomato bread. I'm going to have to make banana bread again soon. Howie likes taking stuff like that in his lunch. It's, he takes a banana, he takes an apple, but it's nice to give him a sweet. I'll probably be baking a pie next week. Just if I ever have the time. I love carrot cake too, but it's just an excuse to eat it. But if I make it in the mini loaves, then I can, freeze some. I think I still have like three green tomato loaves left. And then I can freeze them, and then they, I'd like to have some in before the green tomato bread is done to give Howie some variety. But he doesn't like fibrofog. He doesn't like raisins. So I will do one pan. I'll fill one pan with the carrot cake, right? Like one set of mini pans. And just before I pour in the other set of mini pans, I'll put in some raisins. Pour moi! And I'll sprinkle some on top just to make sure that we know which one is which. God. Teeny tiny carrots. Sometimes carrot cakes becomes an excuse to eat cream cheese frosting. I know. And that's way too rich for me. I made a decadent orange carrot cake with, I believe, orange cream cheese frosting. It's somewhere on this channel, and it was decadent. Oh my gosh! But it was so good. But I don't like things. Neither does Howie. We don't like things that are that rich, right? Well, Howie does, but I'm trying to manage. I try to manage his sugar, right? Like he gets a bottle of pop, which is really bad for you. But here in Canada, we're not as high in high fructose corn syrup as, like, I notice in the States, your guys' ingredients, you have longer ingredients. Like on your ketchup bottle, you got all that stuff in there. But the same ketchup, I watched a woman do a video, a woman who moved to the States. And she said, now I know why your food tastes different, because it is, right? And she showed Heinz ketchup in the States and Heinz ketchup in Canada, and the United States had twice as many ingredients. My freezer is upright and frost free. Yes, New Zealand doesn't have the high fructose corn syrup either, even in our Coke or Pepsi. So, but Howie gets a bottle of pop, like a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper, and he makes that last a month. I bet you. He bought Dr. Pepper before Thanksgiving, and there's still some of it in the fridge. Do you know what I had for dessert last night? I opened a small can of mandarin oranges, and I drained off the syrup, and I covered them in whipped cream. It was like a creamsicle. Oh, so good. Yours is supposed to be frost-free. So's mine, but I bought that when I was working at the bakery. With one of my first paychecks, I bought that deep freeze out there. But I said to Howie, it's not keeping things frozen. And he said, Bev, it's got to be clean because there's a great big frost that sickle up the side. So I have to get the turkey, the chicken, and the tomatoes out of that freezer so Howie can clean it. I also have to use it for freezing onions. So I've got to get my shit together here. What's going on, Terry? Just had a 3.5 earthquake near Reno, Nevada. That's not bad. We had a 5.5 here once, and Briar was down the basement, and he come running up the basement stairs. I was outside, standing on the ground, and I'm watching gravel jump. And we had a trailer that we were keeping here for somebody, and it had some roofing tin in it. And it was going rattle, 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 rattle. It was like the noise was more scary than anything. So we have the occasional rumble here in Quebec, but that was the worst of it. Do you eat them afterwards, Mary? Have you ever tried them after canning them? Because I did that once. I canned clementines, and the pith or the white skin that holds the that covers the wedges, it makes it really bitter. I am a widow and have no one to dig the deep freeze, so the upright works better. Awesome. Yeah, well, that big freezer's on its last legs anyway. Well, it's not really. But once it's cleaned and everything, all the meat comes frozen. And then we got to go on a meat canning marathon. Because all the I'm getting ground pork. I'm getting a ham. Ground pork, bacon, and chops. I'm not going to bother getting any pork roasts. Because you say roast, if you just want one, then they give you a bunch of roasts, right? So I'm going to get chops, bacon, and ground. And a ham or two. And with the beef, I'm getting some steaks, a couple of roasts, and then the rest, and stew meat and ground. I know, exactly, right? But I can most of my meat in pints. So, because the meat, when I ask for 1 pound packages, because that's the smallest denomination they have, they came last year and most of them were almost 1.5 pounds. They were like 1.4 pounds and 1.6. And some of them were, they were all well over 1 pound. And even 1 pound of ground beef is a lot for Howie and I in one sitting, right? So I'll take half of the ground pork and half of the ground beef and half of the stewing meat, and I will cook the ground meat and the ground beef and the ground pork. I'll probably cook them together, and then I'll can them up in pints, because that's good for fast spaghetti and deconstructed cabbage rolls and stuff like that. But the larger packages I can leave in the freezer for when I want to make meatloaf. And when I make a meatloaf out of one of those 1.5 pounds, there's leftovers. There's lots of meatloaf, and Howie gets meatloaf in his lunches for 2 days. Right? Like he gets meatloaf sandwiches in his lunches for 2 days. So these things all have to be thought about. I can't just wait till the last minute and go, no, you can't put all that meat in my freezer. It's not been defrosted and cleaned, right? Carrots. We are working on carrots. So, I'll can up half or most of the stew beef for fast, like Yorkshire pudding, beef pies, and fast rapid stew. Rapid stew is really easy. You take carrots out of the pantry, a jar of potatoes, a jar of stewing meat. You drain the juice off the stewing meat, make a gravy. Throw in an onion and your carrots. You can put raw, but throw in a jar of onion, or throw in a chopped onion, a jar of carrots, a jar of potatoes, and the meat, and then make a gravy from the juice of the meat, and dump that in. I watched this guy do this cooking. Oh God! He makes these crock pot stews, and I was like, oh yeah, that looks really good. And he browns everything and he gets everything in there. And then he throws in a packet of powdered gravy mix, a packet of barbecue sauce mix, powdered, or barbecue powder, and a package of ranch dressing. And I'm like, holy sodium, man, right? If I'm going to make a rapid stew, I'm not going to fill it with all, every one of those packages is, probably 40% sodium. Like, yes, I work with mushroom soup every once in a while, right? But the thing is, I don't do it all the time. Oh, I got to get another flat of mushroom soup. I don't do it all the time, right? But, oh yeah, mushroom soup's on sale. at Maxi. So I try and keep the artificial ingredients down to a minimum. So it's easier to do crock pot meals and soups and stuff that are healthy and good for you and not full of chemicals if you can the ingredients yourself and then use them, right? Oh, yeah, I asked for the oxtails last year and I didn't get them. I was pissed. They sent me the tongue, which I didn't want. It went into the ground meat. I bought 2 tenderloins and did the same. I froze it flat and pre-marked it. Did you add fat? Because I told everybody afterwards that it was like a pork chop. Those patties come out like pork chops because there's almost no fat in those that sausage because I used loins. So if you want to make sausage, and I might make some more. No, I can't do it with the because everything comes frozen. I would buy a couple 3 cheap pork roasts that have fat on them, because your sausage, unless you like it coming out like a pork chop, your sausage needs more fat and ingredients to make it more sausage textured. Mine come out almost solid. Most mushroom soups have MSG. I know. But that's why we keep. I'm not saying I live an MSG free, GMO free life. I don't. But I do the best I can with my budget to keep that low. If you notice, there's a whole lot more home canned stuff in my pantry than there is box stuff. And the potatoes I get, I still got to go to Costco, and the instant potatoes I get, the Just Spuds, are just that. They're just potatoes, right? So I got to get a couple of boxes of those. And I think tomorrow I'm going to make maybe I will. I'll make potato soup tomorrow. I will, I'll save it for another day. But soup season is coming. As sure as winter is coming. I just opened my mandarin oranges. Yuck. I tried very hard at getting the pith off. I have 3 frozen quarts in the freezer. I'm not going to can them. What do you think about dehydrating them? That's a good idea. I would poke them, your wedges. I would poke them with a fork. And then maybe after dehydrating them, you might be able to peel the skin off. But I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But I do slice and dehydrate oranges. I have a scented jar over there for Christmas time. And it has dehydrated. I did some apple slices with some cinnamon. And I did some orange slices and I covered them in powdered cloves and I dehydrated them. And I have some scented pine cones and I put those all together in a jar with a set of mini lights. And they're getting hard to find real mini lights that aren't LED now. And they heat up the potpourri and make the whole house smell like Christmas. And it works. It's on its like 5th year. And it's still working. It's still, I haven't got it plugged in right now, but smacks YouTube for lagging behind. Hi, Manette. I thought you were leaving. Pacific Foods brand of cream of mushroom soup is MSG free. Where do I get that? Is that a Canadian thing? Right? So I try and keep the MSG really low in our house. Like, yes, I use a can of mushroom soup now and again. But it's compared to whatever, packet of gravy, a packet of, mushroom gravy, and a packet of friggin' powdered, what did I call it? That salad dressing. See, I'm brain fried. No more MSG for me if I can help it. Lead gives off massive radiation. It's harder and harder to find regular lights and bulb. LED gives off. Yeah. You know what? I have a whole shelf of them in the pantry. 100-watt bulbs. Because I heard they were discontinuing them. And back when I bought them, back when I bought them, I was thinking, if I have to build an incubator or something, right? And they're warm, right? They give off a lot of heat, right? But I have lots of incandescent bulbs. But I use LEDs. I'm going to switch out some of because I keep my salt lamps using incandescent bulbs, and the ones in the living room run all 24/7, right? They also help, though, cleaning up dirty energy. Uh-oh, what are you cracking up people about? Hey, Nina! I got home before the road closed. I had to leave to drive home and ducked between the traffic before they closed the road. Why'd they close the road? Why'd they close the road? What's going on? Right. Dark Lord Manette, are you the one that's in Nevada? I heard WD-40 is being banned or something in Canada. Oh, I heard that too. I'm sorry. We got to get rid of the turd in the Parliament in power here. Everyone's like, why is he still in power? Because the NDP props him up. The NDP, all they have to do is cross the floor, and there would be a no confidence vote like crazy, right? But Trudeau is still handing out little bits and pieces to the NDP party for their good loyalty behavior. It's horrible. And yet I'm hearing people saying, I want to get rid of Trudeau. We're going to vote NDP. I said, you're voting for the same party. The NDP party used to be a really great party in Canada, and it has been built and built and built. And now that guy, that's Jagmeet Singh, he's just making a joke of it. He wants to give everybody free everything. Socialist to the core, right? So, hey, Leanne, how are you? Listen while work. Good, me too. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what's coming, Who knows? But there's only one way we can vote to ensure that we're not going to get the same shit different day, and that's the Conservative Party, which I've never voted Conservative in my life. But the truth is, if Pierre Poilievre accomplishes half of what he promises, it'll be a better day in Canada. He's talking about axing the carbon tax, which is stupid to begin with. These are just my opinions. He's talking about giving parents back the rights of what their children learn in school and what they don't learn in school. He's going to ban all of his cabinet from having anything to do with the WEF. These are his promises. And there will be no digital currency and no digital ID. So these are all really powerful points that are weighing in his favor. My fear is, no, I can talk about this because it's in the news, right? My fear is that when we voted Trudeau in, and yes, that will go down as the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. When we voted Trudeau in, he came in on a red wave across the country. And he got in on beautiful promises. And then he broke every one of them except the marijuana legalization promise. So my fear is, these are wonderful promises. But what happens if he gets in on those promises and then turns out to be the same kind of bullshit tyrant? I mean, there was a meeting in Ottawa yesterday to, talk about and try and handle any kind of anti-Semitism that's going on in the country. And people outside, and they didn't show the whole coverage on the news. There were people outside protesting for Hamas. And they were allowed. They was like protesting for, free the Palestine people and all that stuff. But they showed that, but what they didn't show is these were people who were saying, were cheering on Hamas and Hezbollah and stuff. And yet, the trucker convoy was shut down with horses and rubber bullets. And that's our own country. So, and yet the police were outside treating all these protesters like, okay, keep it down, keep it civil, blah, 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 blah. You know? George Soros, Trudeau's father. No, the rumor is that it's, what's his name? Castro. Because they say Margaret Trudeau was quite the loose woman. Yeah, amazing comparison, eh? Everybody, oh no, don't squelch the protest that's aiding the enemy, that they're protesting right in front of where they're having this anti-Semitism meeting. The Prime Minister was there, and yet they're allowed to do that. But we Canadians weren't allowed to protest mask mandates and vaccine mandates. Trudeau. You either love him or you hate him. And I don't even hate him anymore. I just want that man, bought off, paid off, stepped down, whatever. Send him over to be buddies with Klaus Schwab, but get him off of our back. Now, how can you say that that's 100% fact? How can you say that? I can't say that without proof. And I'm not going to say that, Jennifer. I'm not. Because those are just rumors. Hey! Karen! Read, Kenner! How's it going? So yeah, right? Gosh, I hope I got enough for 2 canner loads soon, because that's what I want to get done. All these itty piddly little friggin' carrots are driving me bat nut crazy. I think our Inslee, who knows? I don't even know who that is. Read. So, I mean, all we can do is vote and hope. But I'm not even convinced that's going to fix anything. Right? So, here's hoping. I know, little carrots are the governor of Washington State. I don't care what he does, as long as he does it. You know what really upsets me? Is he's going to have a pension of $250,000 a year for the rest of his life for wrecking our country. Oh! Thought the wrong thing. There we go. But we're not going to talk about that. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Oh, and Pierre Poilievre said he's also going to stop the Chinese policing on Canadian soil. to keep our electoral process uninterfered with. I mean, I listen to that and I want to go, yes! I'm going to do a rumble on it. I want to go, yes! But when you see the hope in my face, you also see terror because I believed in Trudeau. I believed in Trudeau once. He was like Canadian royalty. Note the was. Well, they do fit great in crock pots, but I can them this size, right? Honey, we've never had the Emergencies Act used before. And it was totally unnecessary. Well, it was necessary by the time they did it, but that's because nothing was done for weeks. Nothing was done. No dialogue was open. They were the whole trucker convoy was treated like terrorists. People had their bank accounts frozen. People were under threat of having their children taken away from them because they had them there, and they were sleeping in the cabs of the trucks with their parents and all kinds of crap. You know? Never again. Like Burren, and after video ends, leave a comment on the replay that helps the algorithm. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know much about anything. So, it's just they're a bitch to peel, Manette. They're just a bitch to peel. Last year, the carrots were huge. And they were a bitch to cut, but they were great for peeling. But, and then I'll rinse out this. Obviously, I have a bucket here of lemon water. Uh-oh. Excuse me. It's probably my husband. He's the only one who knows the number. Hello? What? Milk. And I'm going shopping tomorrow, so you'll have to have pancakes again. Is that okay? Well, if you want to get a box of cereal, get a box of cereal. But we need milk and some bananas and some, I don't know if I can eat apples yet, but some milk and some bananas anyway. Get your box of coffee. And, God, what else was I gonna? I'm going shopping tomorrow, yes. Milk. Make it 4, because you're going to do it anyway. You're going to do it, or you're going to stop tomorrow, right? So do you want to just do it now? Do you have enough in your wallet to do it now? Okay, 4 bags of milk. Get your cream. I know. Okay, just 4 bags of milk and your cream and coffee and bananas. And I think just get the usual Friday shopping dairy products and bananas. I can't text you, I'm on live. Bananas and the hell else? Lunch meat. Get something for your lunch unless you want PB&J tomorrow. Because I'm going shopping tomorrow. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay? Bananas and dairy products and your coffee. All right. I love you, sweetie. Drive carefully. All right. Love you. Bye-bye. Oh, and I'm going shopping tomorrow, and eggs are on sale at Maxi. 2 for $4, 2 dozen for $4 something, but I still have a lot of powdered eggs to use. I got to get, I'm going shopping tomorrow. He doesn't need to get any more. We don't buy dairy products in Quebec because they're more expensive than Ontario. So when I shop in Quebec, Howie does the dairy shopping Howie does the dairy shopping for us. in Ontario because he works in Ottawa. What's a fantastic price? Well, I don't think that's, well, I guess it's a great, but I'll get a couple of dozen eggs anyway. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing some noodles and baking and stuff like that. But I'm starting to use my powdered eggs up for things like spaghetti, pancake mix, and noodles. But I have anemia apparently. And that's because of my gastric bypass surgery. I don't absorb iron, and I really am not good on iron pills. But I know when my anemia is playing up when I'm craving eggs all the time. And I'm craving eggs. I wanted boiled eggs and toast. I just boil 3 eggs. I make 3 pieces of toast. And I butter the toast, and I put the boiled egg on it, and I go chop, 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 chop. Ketchup, salt, pepper, and I fold it over like a taco, and I eat it like that. That's the way I eat my eggs. What's the traditional spooky movies that you and Howie watch? Well, we've been watching some non-traditional ones. We're probably going to watch The Shining. It's been a while since we saw that. I have a feeling that I got a feeling deep inside. Oh yeah. I have a feeling we're going to be watching Zombieland tomorrow night. Like, oh no, we won't. Probably Saturday night. Saturday night we'll be watching Zombieland. And probably Mars Attacks. I love how they make every movie, even the comedy ones, about aliens, that aliens are to be treated with fear. Like, look what they did to poor E.T., right? Little botanist forgotten behind, right? And yet, if they were a threat, you know, we're not at the point to be a threat to anybody. Oh, it's Independence Day, we're going to shoot them down. And what a bunch of crap, honestly. Do you honestly think, and now, if you want to put on your tinfoil hat, some people say that certain of the elites, like Rockefellers and the Queen of England and all that stuff, are actually lizard aliens, right? And the story is that we were invaded by them because there is apparently a galactic federation. And we were not to be interfered with until because our planet is like our planet is like an ark, okay? And it holds all the DNA. Put on your tinfoil hats now. It holds all the DNA. Every species on the planet holds the DNA that has seeded the rest of the multiverse. We are the ark. And we got interfered with against the Galactic Federation. I'm telling you a story now. Listen, children. We were interfered with by, I call them the Drago. I don't know what else to call them. And because they came to our planet, because our planet has been destroyed and rebuilt many, many times. Look at civilization. Our planet used to be bigger than it is. Used to have 2 moons. One of the moons got destroyed in a war with the Galactic Federation protecting our planet. One of the moons got destroyed. And the fallout is what killed all life on Jupiter and Mars and all that stuff, right? So once the Drago or whatever I call them got on our planet, we were put under quarantine. Our universe was put under quarantine. Not just to protect us, but to stop them from getting out and wreaking havoc on the rest of the multiverse. We were put under quarantine until our planet and the people on it reached the maturity level enough to understand that we've been under the thumb of a regime for a very long time. So, well, this is just my story, Jennifer. And that quarantine lifted in 2015. Now, anybody ever heard of Project Bluebeam? Project Bluebeam, because apparently, if you listen to the tinfoil hatters, when we did get invaded, some people of the elite families around the world sold out for power. You know where I'm going with this? And they're the ones that have been pulling the puppet strings for thousands of years. Now, Project Bluebeam, and there's one thing that happened is they got technology in return when they sold out. They got technological advances. Do you honestly think we could go from the telegraph to cell phones in 100 years all on our own? 150 years all on our own? So, now remember, we're just supposing. But some of that technology is weaponized lasers. Did you know that apparently there's no such thing as 5G? Nobody has it. Your phone may say 5G, but it doesn't have it. You know why? If you open your phone, I watched a video of a guy saying, this is who I am, this is my cell phone repair business, and I'm going to show you 2 different cell phones. He said, I'm repairing these right now. And everybody says they're 5G, but there is no 5G phones operating in Canada right now. And he showed where the 5G chips should go, but are not there. So what are they doing with all these towers? Now, one of the technologies of Project Bluebeam is also advanced holograms. And to this day, I cannot find the videos. I wish I could I wish I had the software for downloading them a long time ago. But there was, 30,000 people in a stadium, and they're watching, like, say, for instance, Gregory Hines. If anybody remembers Gregory Hines, he was a massively popular tap dancer. And he's tap dancing with Gene Kelly on the stage. And the only reason the people knew that Gene Kelly wasn't Gene Kelly was because he was in black and white. But when they colorized him, you couldn't tell the difference. And they danced together. Oh, yeah. Did you get buffered? I got buffered, folks. You know what that means? They're listening. So, holograms are very, very high tech right now. And like you watch Independence Day, and you know how those big ships come in through the clouds and there's a bit of an earthquake? If that many ships that size came through our atmosphere, I don't care what kind of technology they have, that would have done more than give a little earthquake. Right? You move the position of the moon and we get tsunamis and earthquakes and stuff. You bring 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 moon-size obstacles or objects into our orbit, into our atmosphere, our hemisphere. It's going to create massive trauma to the planet in tsunamis and earthquakes and all that stuff, right? Did you know if you have an iPhone, it takes scans of your picture every few seconds? Apple admitted it and denied it was for anything nefarious. Of course they can deny it, right? So, I'm just saying, if it ever happens, they do a little earthquake or something like that, and then you see these, maybe you'll see Christ in the sky, or maybe you'll see Buddha, or they used to toy with the idea of religious icons in the sky, depending on which country they were projecting it into. But the problem with that is you know, people's faiths and religion is being broken down day by day. Not people's faith, but religion. So they didn't think it would be powerful enough. So you've heard Ronald Reagan say it. You've heard Bill Clinton say it. You've heard George Sr. say it. I wonder if it's going to take an off-planet threat to bring us together as one community on the planet. And I've seen some video footage lately of some robots that are so close to being human looking that it's crazy. Has anyone ever seen the movie AI with Jude Law and the kid from Sixth Sense? How Jude Law would move was like this robot. He did a really good job on that. And if they're publicly showing robots that can almost pass for human, what do you think they're not showing us? Just saying. So, if you can think it, then it's possible. That's all I'm saying. So, don't necessarily panic if we, sometimes it looks like we're being invaded by aliens. Believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see, and you might get a glimmer of the truth. The dumb's underground and moving. I can't say that out loud, Jennifer. I can't say that out loud. So, yeah. Be aware, folks. If you are awake, there is nothing you won't see if you just stay awake and look with your heart, not fear. Because the advertising industry in the last 10 years has gone from selling products through seduction to selling products through fear. And that is a very significant move. Why? Because we get used to being sold fear. I mean, even me, who's one of the most awake people I know, okay? When everybody started getting sick, even I had a bit of a panic and brought my sister up here because she was living in an apartment building and all that stuff. But they moved too quick to stomp on our rights. And the first time that happened, I went, oh, no. Okay, this is not what they're saying it is, right? With intel you won't see on TV, that's for sure. Oh, no, I get it. Trust me, honey. For what I do say, there's 90% that I can't and won't say on a live stream. Right? Because sometimes, let's put it this way. I was called a crazy conspiracy theorist 10 years ago. And now Howie's looking at me like this. Didn't you tell me about... Yes. Yes, darling, I did. I was looking at Project Bluebeam 10 years ago. All right? Exactly, button. Anyway, we've been on here for almost 2 hours, and I I think I might go, I'm going to do Life with the Wolfies live tomorrow before Freaky Friday so that we can, because I want to get this done. And I would have had 2 canners on the stove by now if these carrots had been any bigger than this. Right? So I'm going to let you all go. And remember, don't take my, look at my orange hands. Don't take my word for anything. Do your own research. And don't forget, we are everyday ordinary people, and all we have to do is open our eyes, close our mouths, and use our critical thinking and watch what's going on, and you'll get a pretty good idea. And it can be pretty scary if you want to go that deep. Some people aren't meant to go that deep, right? You are your father. Remember him telling you about scanner at the grocery store. That's right. Yeah, my dad telling me. That's the thing. I remember when I was 14. Now I'm 54 years old. So we're talking 45 years ago. My dad was telling me about barcodes and scanners. How people weren't going to have cashiers anymore. And I told him he was full of crap. And he said, Bev. And he showed me some articles in his science magazines that was showing the technology 45 years ago. And they're trying to push cashier self-checkout on people now, right? So, but my father shared that information, but even if he had the internet, he wouldn't have gone on it, right? So the trick is, this is my cousin told me one day, she said, you're your dad all over. I said, no, I'm not. I have my father's intuitive, inquiring mind. I have my father's critical thinking, but I have my mother's passion for justice and what's right. And in that combination, you get somebody who shows up at trucker convoys. You get somebody who gets held up in line at a police stop, being told I can't go back to the grocery store I shop at, that I have to shop north. I say, no, you don't. No, I don't. Because this is what they don't tell you. Mandates and regulations are not, we have a tendency to think that mandate means mandatory, and it's supposed to. That's what you're supposed to think. But mandates aren't laws. Those regulations aren't laws. And so I told that nice police officer, he said, you got to go home and quarantine for 2 weeks, and you can't go back south. You have to go north. All he had to say was, there's been outbreaks in Wakefield. Stay away from Wakefield and shop north. I would have understood that. But this was a young police officer, and he had, got a little bit too much taste of power. And he tangled with a 50-year-old woman. And I said, no, I don't. And he goes, Madame. And I said, no, I don't. You can't tell me where to shop. You can't tell me that I have to go farther north where prices are going to be more expensive because it is a name brand supermarket. I'm going to spend more gas to get there. And I don't know that store like I know my store. So I don't even know if I'm going to get the things I'm going for. You can't tell me where to shop. I did not wake up behind the old Berlin Wall this morning. And he got really, really upset. He's like, Madame, you must listen to me. And I went, okay. Because I got pissed off long before he came to talk to me, because he kept me waiting while he interrogated somebody with a pickup truck in front of me for 10 minutes. And see, when I went to town, there's a group on both sides of the highway, and they flag you down. And when I went to town, the cop said, where are you going today? I said, I'm going to Giant Tiger to buy my sister cigarettes. And he said, is it necessary? I said, do you want to go back to my house without my sister's cigarettes? And I'm not paying the gas station prices. And he laughed and said, where you go? It was on the way back. He was an older guy, about my age. And on the way back, this other guy was like, And they changed the shifts every 2 hours, so you never got the same people. So that young lad who told me I had to go home and quarantine for 2 weeks and all this stuff, I told him he was full of crap. So when he finally, and while I'm waiting for him to talk to me, the other barricade is stopping cars but letting bikes go through. And these bikes were professional cyclists, which we don't have that many of them up here, this far north in the Hillbilly Hills. And that ticked me off. So by the time he got to me and he started walking towards my passenger door, Gracie was in the passenger seat. Yes, she was in a seatbelt and a harness. However, if she lunged, she could reach right out that window to her hips. So when he started walking towards my truck, I asked him to stop. And he said, "Why? I'm 6 feet away." I said, "You're not 6 feet away from my dog." "Well, your dog should be in a harness." I said, "It is." I said, "But if it lunges," I said, "I don't want you pulling a firearm on my dog. So please stay where you are and tell me what you need to say." That just got everything off on the wrong foot. Because he was like so proud of like, well, I'm keeping 6 feet away, right? It's got nothing to do with, had nothing to do with why we were being locked down and everything to do with my dog. "Oh, you gotta go out, baby? All right, mommy's gonna finish up here." So that was when I got the slap in the face that went, wait a second. This is not good. This is not kosher, nor is it legal. And that's, after that, it was not just the Freedom Convoy. The weekend before the Freedom Convoy, there was a freedom of speech rally on Parliament Hill. We went to that too. So marched to legalize marijuana, marched against Monsanto, went to the freedom of speech rally, and then the truckers convoy. That's what my parents came up with when they decided to have another baby. They got an activist, and I can no sooner stop who I am than change my sex, right? Yeah, well, the thing is when I got that ticket for beeping my horn in Quebec, I should have went to court and said, no, I was at a stoplight, people were crossing the street and waving their flags, and I went beep, beep, beep at them, and I got pulled over for using my horn unnecessarily. People do that crap all the day. They beep and wave at each other. But I got a $171 ticket, and my mistake was not going to court and fighting it. I just refused to pay it, and then it doubled, and I had to pay it. And someone told me never, ever, ever pay a ticket. Always, always, always fight it, right? So I mean, there were so many people. They were finding people in Montreal. A little old lady sitting on a park bench, feeding the pigeons, got a $1,500 fine for being in public without a mask. The masks that we know are, USLES, right? Anyway, I have to go. So that's just, if they're not going to pull this shit on me twice. Never going to happen again, right? I love you guys. Take care. God bless. It's been 2 hours and my dog is telling me she's got to go babies. And I've got to peel more carrots. All right. Mwah. Take care. God bless. And don't be surprised if I'm here tomorrow. No, I'm shopping tomorrow. But you'll see my shopping video on Saturday. I love you guys.